He walks into court insisting the law doesn't apply to him, claims his name isn't real, and that the system has no authority over him. The judge shuts it down immediately. None of it holds up in court. What follows is a harsh reality check that turns the entire hearing into a tense showdown.
These three who died and the young child that was in the car, and one of them that died was 13 at the time. I really don't know how to describe this because they were just going shopping. That's all they were doing that day. They were minding their own business, driving down a public highway, not bothering anybody. And this man not only hit them, but went over the top of their vehicle, taking Mr. Nichols' head off. I got to tell you that I can't imagine what the family's going through, and I apologize to the family for describing this, but I got to tell it what it is because I think you need to know. I can't imagine what the family's going through. I can't imagine what the first responders were going through when they saw it, because all I've seen is all the photos, Judge. And to see Mr. Nichols' head laying on top of the 14-year-old who's crumpled in the backseat of that car is an image that I'll never be able to get out of my head. And it's something that I'll carry with me. And I don't even come close to what the family has to deal with. Not only was he driving on the wrong side of the roadway, but was a witness saw him an hour before driving down the wrong side of the road, stopped, get out of his vehicle, and then got back in his vehicle and drove again. This time on the other side of the highway, driving down the wrong side of the road. He mentioned to the officer that he knew he had double vision while he was driving, so he knew he shouldn't have been safely behind the wheel. He wasn't, because he was reckless. He was just about doing what he wanted to do, and his intoxication got the better of him. I don't doubt that all these letters that he's given are nice letters, and they say wonderful things about him. But Judge, that doesn't take away the fact that there's a 13-year-old that's not going to grow up and have a chance.
I know I can't bring anyone back, but I would like to be able to support him any way I can, possibly, for however long it takes.
Let me ask you just a couple of things here. And Mr. Craddock, it's hard to say anything about an accident where it's deemed you're at fault and 3 people are killed. And I've presided over so many of these types of situations, and people take it for granted that those are not much more than 4,000-pound missiles, which do terrible damage to human tissue when they collide. When the officers arrived and spoke to you, your first statement was that you weren't at fault for the wreck, and you believed that the Cadillac swerved into your lane, and you did what you could to minimize the damage. You also denied drinking any alcohol, although your blood alcohol showed that you were intoxicated. You stated you did not consume any alcohol prior to driving. Can you explain why those came out of your mouth during that period of time when you had everything to lose by not telling the truth? Why would you falsify those statements at that time?
Your Honor, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
I was scared. I've never been in trouble before.
So the first thing you came out was lying?
No, sir. At the time, I wasn't really sure. I was shook up from the wreck. Okay. And now I know everything was my fault. I own up to that. But at the time, no, sir, I was not really sure. I don't remember most of that part, to be honest with you.
During the pre-sentence interview to the probation office, you claimed that you had never drank to intoxication. Is that true?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
But you reported drinking to intoxication for approximately 4 years. It states at the time of the substance abuse assessment listed below. Here in this. The defendant reported a 7-year history of alcohol use in the substance abuse assessment. 4 of those years to intoxication. it states that the person who did the substance abuse assessment, during the pre-sentence interview with the probation officer, you said that you had never drank to intoxication. But during the substance abuse assessment in front of Ms. Posey, you stated that you have a 7-year history of alcohol use, with 4 of those years drinking to intoxication.
Yes, sir.
Which was the last reported use approximately May 2021, which would have been on or about the date of this.
Yes, sir. I do believe the last 4 years of my drinking was, I had a problem.
Okay, all right. That's your statement? That you drank to intoxication for about 4 years?
Problem. Yes, sir.
What the court is saying is obviously a catastrophic automobile collision between 2 automobiles. One is on its side and it's up against another vehicle. And apparently the vehicles stopped when they made contact with each other and didn't move very far, which, if you're going to even the speed limit there, it's a catastrophic event. There truly is no way to describe decapitation of a human being.
No, sir.
It doesn't have. Unfortunately, you cannot bring lives back. And unfortunately, the way the law is based is that when a life is lost because of acts, wrongful acts done, there's really little quid pro quo. There is no equality in administration of a sentence. What ends up happening is that another person becomes punished. And in this type of offense, it really doesn't take an intent to harm anybody, to be guilty of the crime and be punished. And it all goes back to, I'm afraid, something that we take too lightly, because we don't even have driver's education as a major rule anymore. Like when I grew up, I had to take driver's ed. But it was, you learn methods of safety that are with you forever. Now it's just a video game. It's like a video game. It's been over 25 years since a day has passed in the state where there hasn't been a fatality on the highway. It becomes kind of a selfish thing because you're high, you're enjoying life, I guess. Meanwhile, everybody you pass is in harm's way, and the way your responses were all wrong at the time. You apparently were incoherent. It wasn't my fault. I'm not drinking. They must have swerved in front of me. All of those were wrong statements, because you put yourself in a position to where other people were not as important, which is the price that they pay and the price you have to pay. As a judge, the one thing I wish I could do is somehow have the ability to bring those poor people back. The only thing we can say that has any, we're hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 20 years, which shall run concurrently. It is a terrible price. There is no winning in any of this. Those people want their family back. Your family has lost you for a 20-year sentence. There is no way to fix this except to send a message that actions like this have strong consequences for those who are blameworthy. We've seen what juries do in this court, and they assess the maximum. And B, since I don't have the ability to bring lives back, and I don't have the ability, minute before this happened, to whisper in your ear, pull over. You're making a big mistake. All right, that is the sentence of this court, and you are hereby taken into custody.
In the end, reality hits hard. No hidden loopholes, no fake legal tactics, just real charges and the possibility of 25 years behind bars. The judge makes it clear. You can argue all you want, but the law still stands. And now, a single decision could change his life forever.